Hi everyone and welcome to my channel once again. I am Mr. Deloverto. Today I'll be talking about Cameroon GCE physics practicals. Students in Cameroon right now are undergoing their practical exams, um, their practical exams for the Cameroon GCE examination. So both the ordinary levels and the advanced levels. So today I want to help the students that are writing the physics practicals on how to approach the various questions for the mainstream and the stations. So I'll just give you an overview. For this video, I'm going to overview of the physics practicals exams. The physics practical exams have three sections. We have first the SBA, which is the school. We have, we have the SBA, which is called the school-based assessment, which is called your lab manuals. We have the mainstream, and we have the stations. So the SBA is 20 marks, mainstream is 40 marks, station is 40 marks. So you have a total of 100. So the SBA school-based assessment, which is represented by your manual, is always assessed before you start writing the exams. So you make sure you have at least 40 experiments in your book. And if you have 40 experiments in books, that means that you have 10 on 10. Because 40 experiments means you have 10 on 10. Because the quantity, which is represented by the number of dated and signed experiments, and experiments that your teacher has corrected and give you like this is what you're supposed to do or this is why it's wrong. If you have 40 of that, you have 10 on 10. Then about the next one will be about the quality of your experiments, how your manner is presented. Is it clean? Do you have good diagrams? Do you take time to draw your graphs and do so they'll check that and check the quality of your manual, of your experiments that you have carried out. And if you have good quality, like it's so excellent, you will also have 10 on 10 and you can have 20 on that section. That's the easiest part we can have max without too much stress. If you're doing your experiments since lower set or grade 11 to upper set, which is grade 12, you should have more than 40 experiments. And if you're someone that was following instructions in class, you should have good quality experiments, good quality diagrams, and should have at least 8 on 10 or 7 on 10 for quality, and should have 10 on 10 for quantity. So should be having like 17 on 20 or 18 on 20 or 20 on 20. Why not 20 on 20 for the SPA? Then we have the mainstream. The mainstream is when you'll be given an experiment with list of instructions to carry out and to set up an experiment and to carry out to collect information or collect data which you use to plot a graph and answer certain questions. The stations that will give you is a short experiment that will give you little or just give you little instructions, give you equipment for you to determine either the density, to determine different physical quantities or different parameters or variables using those equipments. So they'll give you 4 stations. Each of the stations, you have to carry them for 10 minutes and record your result in those 10 minutes. And mainstream, you have to make sure you do your mainstream in 1 hour 20 minutes. So the practical session is 2 hours. So make sure you divide your time wisely. Make sure you do your mainstream for 1 hour 20 minutes and stations for 40 minutes. But it's always advised that you should always do your mainstream for 1 hour, stations for 40 minutes, and then use 20 minutes to go to check your work so you can pass it. So before ending this video, so that I can do the video on stations, the next video will be on stations, I wanted to give you some things you need to take note of. First, when you're approaching the exams, please be confident in yourself. Don't be afraid to use the equipment. Please, make sure you know how to use a measure rule, how to get information from it. How can you read a stopwatch? How can you read a vernier caliper? How can you a micrometer? How can you read a thermometer? How can you read a multimeter which contains an ammeter, voltmeter? How can you read a protractor? Please make sure you know how to use this instrument, and above all, make sure you know how to read uh, a balance, whether either it's a spring balance, a scale balance, or a double pan balance, or a triple beam pan balance. Make sure you know how to read these instruments, because no experiments will go beyond these instruments. They'll either give you a vernier caliper. They'll either give you a micro screw gauge. They'll either give you a metal rule. They'll give you a multimeter. They'll give you either a, a balance. So if you don't know how to read these instruments, that's the first thing that you're really failing. You need to, if you don't know it today, please pick them up or go to YouTube. Learn how to read these instruments before the day of your practical, because no experiments will come, both in the mainstream or the stations, beyond these instruments. That's what they'll be testing you on how to use these instruments. Second, when you enter the room, please don't say, this is how we do it in our school. This is how my teacher taught me. Follow instructions. Follow instructions. If you follow instructions, then you're fine. Follow what the supervisor tells you to do. Read the instructions on the answer booklet. Make sure you follow them to the letter. Now, the third thing I want you to also do is, after you enter the room and they've given you a position, make sure, please make sure you check the workability of every instrument they have given you. Check them whether they are working. If they are not, call the supervisor's attention and take it to them. Let them arrange it, or they give you another one. It's your right to have workable instruments. Then please, when you want to start working, take breath in 3 times. Breathe in and breathe out 3 times to calm down yourself. And please be confident. I know you can do it. You have been in lower seat and upper seat. You have taken a lot of courses, just not for nothing. You cannot just come the last day and you mess everything up. Be confident you are so intelligent for this paper. This paper is the easiest for you to have this 30%, because you know that practical right now is 30%. So if you grab this one, you just need just 20 marks or 20% from the other two papers to have a pass for physics. So it's something that is very easy to get. It has a high percentage and it's very easy for you now to grab it. So the ball is your court right now. Cut the T's, dot the I's right now by learning how to use these instruments. Boost your confidence up. Make sure you follow instructions. Make sure you you follow the guidelines that the supervisors will give you. Calm down yourself and believe and know that you are the best and you will make it. So thank you for watching. The next video will be about how can I approach the questions on stations. Stay tuned and keep watching. I love you.